there, comic book friends. I'm Travis.
And I'm the disembodied voice.
And this is...
Monster Comic Review.
That's right. And this is books for the 5th week, the odd week of August 31st. And we'll start out with Ms. Marvel, issue number 10. Civil War 2. Crossover, tie-in, influenced by...
Yes, all of those things.
Well, it's not really cross. Well, I guess it does actually
Influenced
have.
by, I guess.
It does have Captain Marvel in it, right? So.
Yep, and she's talking about the fact that she feels like her parents are getting a divorce and they're fighting all the time because.
Tony and Tony Stark.
Her superhero parents.
Yep. So what do we think as far as this? I mean.
This is a pretty devastating issue because her best friend is damaged and red-haired, freckle-faced.
Kind of the mouthpiece leader of the group of kids that are gathering up the potential bad people and holding them in incarceration.
And she wants to take over the world, essentially. And she has armor.
Well, the group, anyway.
Yeah, her corner of the world. She wants to take over the group. She thinks it's a bad idea to end doing having the group. And Kamala tries to disband it. Right.
Kamala has 100% decided that this whole arrest people before they've done something is bogus. That it doesn't work.
Right.
But she also, in some ways, agrees with Captain Marvel to maintain things until whatever the big kids have going on, whatever the adult superheroes have going on, gets settled.
Right. Because, of course, there have been some deaths and some unhappy things happening in the crisis, which we are not, in Civil War, which we are not reading.
Right. But in this issue, Ms. Marvel agrees to do that, but at the same time, she's got some other alternative plan going on.
Yeah,
she's going to try and trick the system, the whole Ulysses system.
Right. Because she's like, how come her response or her question was, how come it could see potentially her friend
committing a crime, but not Bruno
But not Bruno, who was also doing something that was against the rules, and he got fried. And also there's a really pretty backstory in here, just a sweet story of how they met.
Yeah.
And the fact that Bruno obviously was coming from a bad place.
Yeah, from a rough family life.
Yeah. And he and Kamala are pretty much best friends forever since her parents made her go talk to the stinky kid.
Yeah.
And that was very sweet.
Yeah, for being a tie-in crossover, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a crossover because you're not forced to read it. Tie-in. And clearly an editorial mandate. Look, you got to tell a story around this. I think it's doing a decent job of kind of telling its own story.
And on the side, this and Spider-Woman are probably my two favorite Marvel comics currently. I like Iron Fist and Power Man, but
The Vision.
Well, the Vision is in its own.
Yes.
I mean, it's in a class by itself.
Yeah.
It is not a part of.
Anyway, for me, it's an enjoyable story. They make it really serious at the end of this. There's some heavy stuff goes on at the end of this. But like I said, for having an editorial mandate to have to do something that has to do with Civil War II, I think this is decently executed.
Yes.
To try and tell its own story within that framework.
Yeah, still a good book.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when that's over.
Yeah. And that's it. That's it for our superhero books this week.
So
I'm still Travis.
I'm still the disembodied voice.
And this is
No Capes.
That's right, where we talk about books that don't have to do with superheroes. I'll jump right into these. Not a lot of them, but they're all like
short week
really
and they're
good.
all really awesome.
So Lazarus, issue number 24, second to the last issue of the culling arc. Here, this is the second issue where people play Highlander.
Yes, there can be only one.
Chop off people's heads.
Yeah. And further, they have a nice big conference about Forever.
Forever number 7.
Yes. And they decide to up a regimen, and
why? The reason they're doing that is because she, since coming back from being blown up, having all of her limbs taken off and whatnot, when they were fighting against the Hawks in Minnesota, when she comes back from that, they basically put her back together again, but they clearly recognize that she is becoming very distant, and they feel like they're going to lose another one.
So this obviously happened with
So prior,
somebody, Lazarus 1 through 6.
so prior they've all slipped into them having not quite the control that they had before. So of
And
course
we
they're
know
giving her
Abe's
some.
not ready yet.
So they're giving her some sort of drug regimen because clearly they're in the middle of a war and they need to have their Lazarus, and she is the Lazarus of Lazarus. The really cool thing about this issue is we finally dip back into what the story first started out about, with her kind of being told, somebody sending her secret messages saying, "You're not who you think you are. You're not the family and whatnot."
He's not your father. This is not your family.
She confronts Dad, and Dad basically says, "Hey, look, whether you're adopted, made in a test tube, or birthed from your mother, you're still the family. You're still my kid.
Right.
So take that however you want to, whether he's being earnest in that or whether it's part of, oh my God, I got to keep my Lazarus around. You know, we're not sure. You can interpret that however you want to until we're shown otherwise. But then she does get exposed to some stuff.
Yep.
Is that the person who's been sending her emails the whole time?
I wonder.
Or somebody else?
I don't know. I don't know if Joanna's been doing that, but she wants to tell her the truth, and I think that she's right personally because I don't think forever just putting her on more drugs to inspire loyalty the way that she's been on drugs her whole life to inspire loyalty to the family as well as...
Yeah, but we don't even know how those drugs work. Clearly those drugs are incredibly subtle, whatever it is.
Sure.
It's not like she's given a drug and she's dumbed down into subservienty.
No, but she's been on the regimen forever, and they're all different things to help her with healing, things to help her with... I mean, it's all her cocktail to keep her running because she is a lab-created human, and there's obviously a whole bunch of chemical things going on with her. Another thing that I thought was interesting that I wanted to say was that I like the fact that they had that conversation while they were playing chess.
Right.
Which I think was just very nice, the dad and Forever. I just liked that, the chess game as they're going along. Not that either one wins, she ends up knocking the pieces off because that's where she is right now. Sure. She's the teenage daughter, but she's not a teenager, and it doesn't feel like she ever had the opportunity to go through that period where you doubt your parents because she's always been on this regimen and always believed
loyal to the family.
Exactly.
I don't think that she's not still loyal to the family, though.
Oh, I don't.
I just think I just think that she's now, when she's doing the stuff for her family, she's thinking about it's not as simple.
Right.
It's not simply
she's aware.
Task. Yeah.
She's more aware. She's more self-aware, and she knows that she's more, well, she's a pawn. To go to the chess thing, she's being used. She was made to be used, and now she's being used. Right. And she wants to know that she wants to be acknowledged, I think, as a person and as a family member, not just as something that was made, that was a tool of the family, which all Lazari are tools of their family. That's what they are. Sure. But she has been raised as a family member, and I think she wants to buy into that. At the beginning, they're showing her playing Scrabble with Joanna. And it's a very fun, goofy sister time, and I think that she wishes her life were that simple again. Right. But really, that happens to almost everybody who comes of age, because you realize that your parents, they aren't really your parents. I mean, sure, they're your parents, but they're flawed adult human beings that aren't maybe what you thought of or idolized as a child, if you had a childhood where you felt warm and loved by your children.
My parents were perfect in every way. At any rate,
we're not going there.
So, and while that's going on, of course, we have the larger political machine that's moving. The war is moving. Pieces are being taken off of the board. Families are being eliminated. Heads of families are being have their heads chopped off. Yeah. If you aren't part of it, you are part of the Carlisle family. You're getting hosed right now. They are taking the daggers and the Black Ops to the next level and just wrecking. Yeah.
Carlisle and Bittner are taking everybody else that's not loyal to them to task right now. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So all really good stuff. Just a smart comic on a lot of levels. The whole dark future political, corporate family stuff going on is all really intriguing. And then like we're talking about, there's this personal struggle going on also there that's really really good in its own right too. So and that whole Scrabble thing, was that a flashback or was that her playing Scrabble with 8?
It says 2 weeks ago, or something like that. 2 months ago.
But that was a younger.
I don't think that was a younger Forever. I could be wrong, but I didn't think it was younger Forever.
Crack open the comic.
Yeah, do.
See if I can find it now.
It's at the very beginning, after the war part. There, see? She looks like an adult to me.
No.
Yeah.
No. She's older. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
But look at the size.
Oh, so you're saying that's 8. Well, that sucks.
It's the size. She's building this sisterly friendship and whatnot. Because, yeah, she's clearly
Really? But
smaller.
her face looks so much more mature than 8's
She's
face.
clearly smaller.
Okay.
She's clearly smaller.
Now, at the end, when Joanna and Forever are entering together, is Joanna smaller? When they're entering the lab? Is Joanna smaller? I mean, is Forever smaller
no,
than Joanna? When she's standing
bigger.
here, she is.
That's because she's
standing
down.
here, she's
That's because
not.
she's down a set of stairs. There, she's
Oh,
down a set of
fine.
stairs. That's perspective. Here,
Well, I want that
here
to be
they're
the
literally
other Forever.
standing in the same place, and
Fine.
Forever is taller.
It's Forever 8 then, I guess, but I don't like that. I really thought that was...
Here they are
Forever.
walking shoulder to shoulder.
Because
Forever's taller.
Forever 8 is, like, not that old. She's, like, 10. And that Forever looks like she's more developed than that. I also have to agree to disagree. I really thought it was her.
Well, somebody out there will correct me, I'm sure.
Or me.
I hope
I'm sure they'll
so.
happily correct both of us.
I hope so. Tell a disembodied voice she's wrong.
Oh, as if people don't tell me that every day.
Not on my channel. They all love you. East of West, number 29.
Speaking of politics and families. Because there's a whole lot of that going on in this.
The one weird thing I will say about this is all the covers of all the East to West are all this kind of design, half whatever kind of thing, right? Where you get the
Right, yes.
top half, bottom half. But the covers have always been relevant to what's going on in the comic,
That's right.
which is unusual for lots of comics, because lots of comics, corporate comics especially.
Oh, right.
You just get whatever stock photo they paid an artist to put out, which may have nothing to do with what's going on inside of it. But this one, yeah, this is the president of the North, and she's not even wearing
in
it.
the comic.
And by the way, you were talking about there being art in here that you'd love to own, and I was telling you that it's all digital, so there's no
Yes,
physical
well,
copies.
sad.
His covers are actually, he does physically draw the covers on paper. You can buy the cover. But the cover isn't just a half. He actually draws a full picture, and they crop the whole
Awesome.
bottom half of
Well,
it.
that's too bad for him, but that's not the...
I know, I'm just saying.
I want to show
Just
everybody.
part of the
2
conversation.
pages that I love the best.
Whatever.
Speaking of families, you know who is in this comic? Death in Babylon.
Yeah, so we get something that happens in this book that I really didn't expect to happen until probably the very end, and I thought it would be some sort of somebody had to put somebody else down kind of a thing.
Yeah, me too.
That's really what
Well,
I
I'm worried about
what I
that.
really kind of thought. I don't know if that's not still going to happen. It's just
Sure.
not going to happen immediately kind of thing. Yeah, so this issue mostly is that group of ragtag bounty hunters that we had from the last issue have caught up with Babylon. They're going to wipe Babylon out, and Babylon, son of death, and Balloon very much kind of take care of business largely as they go after him. We get this really cool kind of backstory, kind of filling out of the world around them about one of the bounty hunters, Psalms.
Yeah,
One-
what
one-
psalm he
137.
is. That part was really pretty cool.
So we get this kind of very quick backstory on that, about this whole group of assassins that basically are people who didn't realize they were going to become assassins. Some scientists said that they found a way to connect to the God machine. So if you embedded
Yes.
yourself in this machine, you became basically one with machines, that you would be closer to God. So they took all these holy men and were going to turn them into these conduits to God. And in reality, they were all designed to be
Yes.
uber
Super
assassins.
soldier assassins named after the Psalms.
Right.
And they actually read the psalm that this particular psalm is
137.
named after, which is
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of the few times when
Some smart
I don't
research
want
there.
to take Balloon down with something. 'Cause I don't like Balloon how he twisted Babylon up.
Oh, then he continues to,
I know.
but a fun issue. There's some funny parts in here amongst the dark that's in it. So Babylon can talk to pigs, clearly, because Mr. Tusk
Yeah.
is a pig. He's got a pig named Mr. Tusk.
That he rides.
And actually, Mr. Tusk isn't Mr., he's Doctor.
That's right.
Mr. Tusk, actually, because he calls him Mr. Tusk. Watch out, Mr. Tusk. And Mr. Tusk basically plows over one of these bounty hunters, and then Mr. Tusk winks at him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Tusk."
Yes.
The pig is Dr. Tusk.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting too.
So maybe Babylon has completely lost his marbles too.
Maybe, or maybe he really does like to.
Or maybe he really does. Or maybe
Dr. Tusk.
he really speaks pig, huh?
We'll find out. Okay, show my favorite pictures.
I know what your favorite pictures are.
Where Death says goodbye
Wait, this isn't.
to Billy.
These are comic books. They don't have pictures in them.
Show them the pages that I wish I.
This one?
But the first one is the one where Death says goodbye. Back up.
Death says goodbye. I don't...
Death says goodbye to Billy. He says say goodbye, and so Death says
Oh.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Love that. If that was a page that I could actually own, I would own it.
For a cool grand or something.
Probably.
Not
And then
probably
the
about
last
it.
page where they ride off into the sunset. Love that. Just
There he
father
is on
and son.
Tusk, right? Death of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and his son who is supposed to end the world and recreate it. And this is the end of year 2.
Yes.
So we're going to get some sort of a gap. We get a thing at the very end that shows the other 3 of the Four Horsemen have resurrected themselves again, except now they're in more of adult-looking bodies as opposed to the
not
kids
the
that
kid
the kids that they were in.
It's a good book.
It's a really good book. The art is awesome in it. It's got these great dynamics. It's amazing all the different things that they have going on. It all seems to work. I never feel lost as far as if it's been a gap between the last time we talked to different people and stuff. The dialogue makes rich characters very quickly. Some of the crazy bounty hunters and the non-crazy bounty hunters
Yeah, you
in it
definitely
and
got a
stuff.
feel for who they are.
There is 15 to 20 issues left of this run. The artist said on Twitter when this was coming out that after this, there was a break, and then they had 15 or 20. And they suspected, clearly it could be shorter than that or longer than that, depending on how long it really takes for them to actually sit down and write and draw out what they want to do and stuff. But I love the book. It's such a great book. I'm glad I rode through the first 5 issues. It seemed like it took a bit to get the whole thing going, but man, now that it's rolling, it's just really cool. I was kind of surprised. I really thought that this issue would pop us back to all the ambassadors that are running from the heretics right now.
Right.
I'm assuming, my guess would be is when the next issue kicks in, that's what we'll be back to. We'll be back to all those ambassadors, because they seem to not stay with one character for too long before
Right.
they...
And we've had 2 whole...
Right, because there's this whole
issues
war
with
going
Babylon
on that's getting ready to start up around them, so what that's all going to be and stuff. But anyway, I did not expect Death and Babylon to meet. I figured that would be something to be at the very end of the series, and it'd be this traumatic end of whatever, in some sense or another. Not to say that they won't be the ending of each other at some point, maybe. But, I'm really looking forward to the potential conflict between Death and Balloon, and Death and Babylon for that matter, because now suddenly Babylon has another influence on him.
Exactly.
He has his dad, who he's
And
not.
Dad wanted to take the things off of his eyes, and Balloon said that he couldn't because
Well,
Balloon
they're
is a
currently
crucial
in
part of...
combat and whatnot.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody else has
He's
said
just-
that he's a crucial part of Babylon. Like, they're symbiotic.
I don't know if that's the case so much as is that.
I got the impression that's what he said.
So-
Meant.
But anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how that conflict works out, because now he's got 2 people influencing him. I mean, he is a kid coming of age and has his own ideas of what he
And
wants to
that's
do.
So...
It'll be yeah. I mean, good stuff.
Yep.
Really good stuff. Abe Sapien, issue number 36, the end of Abe Sapien.
Pretty much. Such a great character, a really interesting book with lots of really cool personal relationships, and the ending sucked.
Yeah. Clearly, the ending of this got rushed. All this stuff that happens. The one thing that's been great about the comic all along, in my opinion, is it's taken its time to just slowly simmer whatever it wants to tell. And then suddenly in these last 2 issues, it's like this mad dash to try and get to the end. And then they do here in very uninteresting, I rather they had not done this and just ended this on just some note. And if
Like
they're gonna,
a letter from
and,
Maria
well,
or
and if
something
they're gonna,
like
and
that.
if they're gonna
Or Grace,
fold
whatever her name is.
Grace, and if they're gonna fold Abe back into the BPRD, then finish telling his story in the BPRD. Unless they're playing on. That's the biggest thing that worries me. It worries me the way this was ended. I'm really scared that if they're going to end the BPRD, we know they're at least ending the Hell on Earth portion of BPRD. I'm still not sure what the hell's going on after that, but that they're going to end it the same way that this got ended. It's going to be this bum rush because Magnola is wanting to go off and do other, go off and paint. There's going to be this bum rush to get it ended in an untimely fashion, way too fast, and fall flat. Whereas as a whole, probably 98% of all the BPRD, every issue is worth getting and worth reading and enriches the entire universe. And I'm scared that it's going to go the way this, because this issue really was lackluster on story. Just like a rush to the end. Suddenly we have our black magicians back. He's the Ichtho Sapien. He's the next level of Abe Sapien, the next what man's going to be. But I thought we kind of decided that isn't what he was going to be. That he really is kind of a unique individual. So really the last
flashbacks.
Yeah, the last three issues have kind of muddied the waters all over again on who the heck he is and whatever. And I'd be okay with him not, because he went on this basically soul journey to find out who he was. I'd be okay by the end of it if he gets to the other end of it and goes, you know what? I still don't know who I am, but this is what I know I need to do or whatever, and that would be fine. But we don't even get that. Sour grapes, I guess.
I don't have anything else to say about it. It's disappointing.
Yeah. Great stuff up into it, though.
Yep.
Saga issue number 37.
Another family drama. We have 4. Is that right? This is the third. Yeah, we have 4.
Okay.
Maybe 5.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Chicka now. This comic got you all hot and bothered.
Really? Oh, because of... Sorry, not that much. But I kind of feel sorry for...
So, this issue basically goes, to a degree full on porn, in a sense.
Yes.
So we get to see Prince the Fourth in all of his engorged glory.
Yep.
No punches pulled. That's the shock.
Oh yeah, there was
picture. There's always is.
Oh, there's
every issue there is. It just wasn't on the first page.
I guess I wasn't in shock or awe. I was just like, yep, they're going there again and watching.
Going there again?
Yeah, as in there's. This is the thing. Giant testicle. Ogre guy.
Right. This is the shocking scene.
Right. Yeah, and.
But there's great stuff that goes along with that shocking scene. So basically,
fantasy has an rather odd.
Well, he's pretty stressed out and trying to relieve himself, basically, and so he's cycling through all this stuff to try and find the thing that's going to get him off.
Yep.
And what he lands on.
Yeah. Whoops.
The other woman, who he hates.
So poor.
But
guy.
Clearly has some sort of level of desire for.
Yeah. Whoops.
Alana, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can get behind that. Anyway,
sure
so basically this is the start of a new arc. My full expectation was they were going to jump another 5 years in the future, and it'd be some sort of crazy. No, it's only been like a couple days or whatever. Mm-hmm. Lana's still in early days of pregnancy. Not even 100% proven that she's pregnant, other than our. I hate using these terminology, but I can't think of what else to. Our trans woman person from Wreath.
Mm-hmm.
There, I tried really hard not to use all the.
Good, you
Yeah. Mooney, because Mooney is the first thing that always wants to come to mind. I know that's a derogatory term for them, not that they're fictional characters.
But what about
they don't
her?
care.
Did she?
Was the last issue, as soon as she lands, she smells and goes, "Oh, you're pregnant, so I'm not going to kill you because you're pregnant. Otherwise, she'd kill her outright."
Right, that's right.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Right, that's the only thing keeping them alive. So you got all the, clearly conflict on the ship because she's there and she hates, the people from the tech world, from the planet. They're all on their ship. Their ship's running out of energy. They have to land on a comet that is a hotbed of activity because it's got all these natural resources that everybody's fighting over, and they don't care about the people that are on the planet. They're getting all blown to hell, all kinds of whatnot.
Exactly.
Some wonderful dialogue, as always, in Saga. We get a little bit of a side story with Sophia and Brandywine, is that her name?
I can never remember.
Marco's ex. Marco's ex. Sophie wants to become a bounty hunter. She's 10 years old, so she can enlist with the bounty hunter apprentice, so she can finish what the will started. Hunt down these horrible, grotesque abominations that are screwing between races, and
well, she just thinks
complete that.
Marco is evil and was like,
yeah,
I don't know, some kind of predator, which
is really nuts because she's saved. Anyway, so
we're gonna see where that goes.
But right, so there's Sophia. So that's gonna be all gonna be really interesting and fascinating too. Yeah. And then it ends with them landing on the comet, and they meet what's potentially the Gus replacement.
I guess
they're these kind of cute meerkat
kind of looking things.
Yeah. So here's the real question about the entire comic, despite all the stuff we've talked about and whatnot. I'm gonna show them, and so here they are. Oh, they're cute. They're cute.
Like, do you have food?
They're cute.
For all of us?
So.
Yes.
What's gonna be the bad thing about them? They're gonna get killed?
I don't know. Are they gonna want to eat the people? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there.
They're cannibals. That's my bet. They're cannibals.
Not really cannibals, but.
Okay, not cannibals. Not cannibals in that they're going to eat their own. They're going to eat other sentient beings.
Yes. One is cute. 100 is scary.
I'm just saying. It's gonna happen.
And I love the fact that what is the name?
It's a rocket ship, and then the next one's a rocket ship.
Yeah, sure it is.
That's awesome paddling. That's a great storytelling for Fiona.
That's pretty dang amazing. She just is.
Yeah.
I like that. What we need a name. Doesn't our trans woman character have a name that we can remember? I like the fact that she feels like she's forced to work for them. Yeah, well,
she is. Yeah, it's forced slave labor. She's making onesies for the soon-to-be baby,
exactly.
Right? And she's pissed about it because she's an armor, which I'm assuming she actually.
But she won't make anything for Alana because she hates her.
Right. Landfall. That's what the techno people are.
Right.
No, I do not know. They do not say her name.
And they probably have said it before, but.
Oh, I know they have, but. It's not a name that sticks with me.
Yeah.
But I really like her. I like her a lot. She's
I do too.
She's definitely my fave of the new characters. But I just love the fact that Hazel's all excited. Sounds like something really bad's happening.
I know.
Because that's just her life, you know.
Right. Because she's 5.
And I have to admit, I also like Isabel. You know, where there's a conversation about the fact that she's trans and whatnot, and Isabel's like, look, like I care about what kind of junk you have below your waist. Have you seen me? And I mean, all she is
the torso. And they actually ask her,
why
you can take any form you want. Why are you choosing to take the form? She's like, because this is the last form I had when I was an actual living person.
And she gets to wear the rock concert.
That's the shirt, exactly. And then she's like, oh, you saw them in concert?
Well, they were still
Pyrosis, or whatever it is.
They were still around.
I think that shirt is available.
Bond. It is.
That's kind of fun.
And that's an instant bond, where she's kind of been like, about the nanny
entire
too.
Thing.
But
all of them, except for Hazel, because Hazel wins everyone over.
Right, because Hazel has her own body issues.
Yes.
Having horns and
wings.
And 4 sets of wings.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say about Saga?
No, we can move on to family drama number 4.
Okay.
But there's not as much family going on in this one, but it has in the past been a family drama.
Yeah, but it's certainly not in this case.
Nope. I just like
Dad's not really in it. Anyway, our ops number 11.
Parent is in it.
Kind of a one-off single issue with art by Davis. It's a little different artist on it than the regular artist on it. But kind of a fun, I thought, single issue about a child who's afraid of something. Afraid of something keeps haunting his potential dreams. He draws it out. It's a picture of his death, basically. Parents throw it away in the 1800s. And when they throw it away, they throw away his death. So he never dies.
Right.
Now
And
we're in
he's
2016.
kind of a mess.
We're in 2016. He is aging, but he's not dying. And this death is going around murdering other people in the process. And
But kids, young
Kids,
people.
yeah.
Because it is a young person's death. And
Right.
so it's been murdering young people, and it doesn't want to
So-
take him because he's old now.
Right. So he had his chance and he missed it by getting thrown out. Anyway, so the art ops are kind of tasked with trying to figure out how to trick it back into killing
The correct person.
the correct person.
And also, it will blink out of existence then because
Right.
it will have served
Right.
its
It will, the
purpose.
art won't be a menace anymore.
Yes. And it's pretty
Cool.
cool. And it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool picture. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was a fun one shot.
It
You know,
was
just
fun.
a single, with the art ops concept there was an enjoyable issue.
Yeah, what they were originally doing versus the family drama it became between, and then the dads and, and whether or not,
You put more family drama in it than what I do, but okay.
between mom and dad.
But that's only a couple issues.
That's true. And also between father and son.
Keep working. You might be able to work a family drama. out of
Whatever,
it.
fine, move on.
Move on. Finally, Tokyo Ghost issue number 10. The final issue.
And we're done. And it was sad and beautiful and happy and beautiful. It had as much of a happy ending as this thing could have had after.
Oh sure, because the bad guys lose and the good guys win as much as you can win with loss. Clearly, like any war, there's
Right.
loss.
But ... It's like a bad horror movie.
Yeah, it definitely lands the horror movie at the end. I think it's funny that it's on a Game Boy though.
Yeah.
It's traditional.
The original
Game Boy.
We have
right?
one of those.
Yeah, the monochrome screen and whatnot. So that's kind of that was kind of fun that they defeat Davy, but Davy's still virtually out there somewhere.
Yes.
Want to play a game?
Yeah, exactly.
There are parts of this that I don't know. The whole Teddy part seemed easy to me. I mean, I get that Teddy was there to entice her to give it up and go with that Teddy.
Right.
But so that Teddy wasn't really acting like real Teddy because real Teddy is a serious dependent and
Exactly.
and all that
and
stuff.
We want her to take care of him.
Right, and
And
so
this Teddy-
why would she buy into that? I don't know. When she starts to slip, I don't know, but that part bugs me because I just
The fact that he becomes her pep talk Teddy.
Yeah.
He's the one pushing
He's
her
the
to
Jimmy
get
Cricket,
out and turn
right.
it off and
yeah
move on with her life.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was
I know, that was weird that they chose to have him be the person that
and then the other part is that some of the people I talked with the book about pointed out that I think is also a good criticism is a character who's barely been there at all, hasn't had any relevance or really real importance, leaps in and basically saves the day. The son of the original samurai woman, he
Right.
jumps in and knocks the helmet loose and knocks Davy aside so then she can take it, so the Tokyo Ghost can take
Right.
advantage and take him out. Almost like
Yeah.
Deus Machina
It's like,
kind of a thing.
and it's like, well, we accidentally killed everyone else who could possibly save her, so we're gonna throw this kid in.
Right, instead of her figuring out it, instead of her doing it herself,
Yes,
ultimately.
because
And so I thought that was a fair criticism. It seemed really easy.
that leaves her to be codependent.
The end of that,
Yeah.
the end of it felt really easy. Art continues to be gorgeous. I mean, you know,
yeah, it's a pretty comic.
Yeah.
And I wasn't totally dissatisfied. I mean, it's
No,
not,
I'm not. No,
it's
I'm not.
No way of
Oh,
Sapien.
no.
It was
still enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was still enjoyable. I like to be hard on endings, I guess, because most of the time I don't care for endings, and so there's always something wrong with a lot of them. With a lot of them, I guess. And so I'm just saying that it seemed to look convenient. And from characterization wise, the Teddy part seems strange to me.
that makes sense.
But I like I said, I still enjoyed it. I like the ending. I like what happens to the world basically, and where they leave it at.
Yeah.
Maybe
because Teddy, virtual Teddy, right, is his soul restored without his body. Because that's what he's planning on doing. He's virtually putting
Yeah, but he's also saying
So-
that everybody can have whatever they want to, and so
And so
clearly,
Teddy choose
if
to be plugged in.
well, no. But what I'm saying though is that even if you decide to be plugged into the virtual reality, and I decide to plug into virtual reality, and it's going to provide both of us with what we want, right? If
Sure.
what I want my ideal world to be like is in conflict with yours, how do we both get what we want? You see what I'm
Both get
saying?
what we want because I would be dealing with my version of virtual you probably.
Right. And
But-
I would be dealing with with my virtual version of you not interacting with each other potentially at all, is what I'm saying is. So my guess is that this Teddy is the manufactured what Debbie would want, not what
And that's why he's
Teddy is.
encouraging her to
Teddy's
move
dead. Teddy didn't get a chance to jump into the reality. He got his throat slit from ear to ear.
I know that. So maybe that's what it is. Instead of being his soul restored, and so he would be interested.
So I just felt like Debbie.
Fantasy.
I just felt like Debbie, despite her being somewhat codependent on that need to take care of Teddy, would have been smart enough or capable enough or not so damaged to call bullshit on even being suckered into wanting to be with him. I don't
Gotcha.
know. I don't know. I'm not buying that she would be
That you would
enticed.
have such a hard
That she would be
time
enticed.
deciding not
That
to.
she would be enticed with a Teddy that she knows doesn't exist.
Right, that you would have such a hard time choosing not to be with him.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Alrighty, we're done.
That's it.
Yep.
Cool.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.